I'm a worshiper. And when I find something that I like, I do it over and over and over and over and over and over. Anybody else? Anybody else? Like I find something I like to eat, I'll eat it. When if I like a sport, I'll do it over and over and I'll just do it again, Like I'm so hungry. God made me that way. But when we fail to let him be the object of our worship, we're in trouble. God does miracles, performs miracles to receive glory, to receive worship, that's another way to say it, to receive honor, that's another way to say it, to receive adoration, to receive our love, to receive our commitment and our loyalty. That's why God performs miracles. John chapter 11. Jesus is informed by Mary and Martha that their brother Lazarus is sick and he's not doing well. And when Jesus hears about this sickness from Mary and Martha, who were their friends, they were all friends, they would hang out. Listen to what Jesus says in John chapter 11. But when Jesus heard about this sickness, he says, Lazarus' sickness it will not end in death. It happened, let me tell you why, for the glory of God, so that the Son of God will what? Receive glory through this. How interesting. Miracles don't just reveal God's glory. He does them so that he will receive glory and be worshiped by them. So if you know the story, a couple of days go by. Jesus does not go to Lazarus. He allows Lazarus to die. Well, then after Lazarus dies, he goes in to see them. Mary and Martha meet him when he gets into town. And of course, they're not happy. They're upset, and they accuse Jesus of being late. Here's what Martha says. She says, Jesus, if you had been here earlier, don't you ever wish God showed up earlier? If you had been here earlier, my brother would not be dead. She accuses Jesus. But why does Jesus wait? Why does he wait? He waits for Lazarus to die so that he can bring the dead man back to life. Wow. To receive glory. Now, when we hear that, it could make us feel a little bit like, okay, so is God on an ego trip? Does he need, so he does something powerful so that we could worship him. Okay, like when human beings do that, it repulses us, doesn't it? When human beings show off and do something really cool so that you could praise them, it's a put-off, isn't it? Yes or no? It's kind of repulsive. When human beings brag about their accomplishments, and isn't it kind of like, can you just shut up? Like when human beings are constantly talking about themselves so that you'll give them attention and credit, isn't it a turnoff? Yes or no? Am I crazy? So why is it okay for God to be like, okay, I'm gonna do something awesome. I'm gonna raise this guy from the dead so that you will praise me. Is God insecure? Is God on an ego trip? Like what's going on here? Nothing can be further from the truth. God is not insecure. God is not on an ego trip. He's not lacking in any way. He just knows that you and I are created to worship. That's how he made you. He made you and he made me to hunger and thirst after things, which explains why many of you overeat and overdrink and over Netflix and overspend and over and over and over. Because here's the way God is made. I don't know if you've discovered this about yourself. I'm well aware of it in my own heart. I'm a worshiper. And when I find something that I like, I do it over and over and over and over and over and over. Anybody else? Anybody else? Like I find something I like to eat, I'll eat it. When if I like a sport, I'll do it over and over and I'll just do it again. Like I'm so hungry. God made me that way. But when we fail to let him be the object of our worship, we're in trouble. That's where addictions start to form, and that's why some of you can't stop watching pornography, and some of you can't stop hooking up or overeating, because you were made to consume something, and if it's not God, it's pills, it's porn, it's alcohol, It's power. It's money. It's buying the next thing. It's why the Amazon truck shows up every day. Because you can't stop. What are you doing? You're worshiping. You're worshiping. So God does these miraculous things so that we can let him capture our hearts. And if God is capturing our hearts and we're worshiping him and adoring him, guess what we're not going to be worshiping? Our bodies, money, sex, this, more stuff from Amazon, binge watching that. No, because we're satisfied him. That's why I wrote it like this, and Dallas Willard taught me this years ago. The safest place for a human being to be on this planet is in a state of worship of God. That's the safest place. When you and I are worshiping God, craving him, consuming him, loving him, adoring him, because we've seen how glorious and majestic and powerful he is, we are safe from chasing after all the other false gods. There's a verse in Psalm 16, verse 4. It says, the sorrows of those who run after another god will multiply. When you worship something other than God, you are going to crush yourself.